entirely free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline. Very,
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So.
Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Tuck Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help you become the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. Episode 291 of the Tuck Tanner Morning Show. So, hobbies. And we're going to have a little bit of back and forth on hobbies today, talking about hobbies that you would possibly want to pick up. Maybe you've been thinking about picking up a reading hobby. Maybe you've been thinking about picking up a walking hobby. Maybe you've been thinking about a small business idea that you've been wanting to implement. Or maybe you're trying to get out of your business and then have a little more balance in your life and do something else. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. My girlfriend and I were going out with some friends in the afternoon to go golfing. But first, before I do that, I got to get a few things done with the coaching. Got to go clean up something at the rentals. And then we get to go golfing in the afternoon. So a nice balance to the day. Excited about it. So how can we implement hobbies into our lives in an effective manner or an effective way? We're going to go ahead and we're going to give some reasons why I believe hobbies are important. And then also we'll have a little bit of a bonus at the end to play devil's advocate to ask ourselves, do we really want to take on hobbies right now? Do we need to take on hobbies? Is that beneficial to us and for us? So first we're going to run through some good morning. Thanks for tuning in this morning. We're going to run through some reasons why hobbies are healthy. So talking about health, and on to the first one, the first point we have for today, we're talking about hobbies. If you're just tuning in with us this morning and why they are important. The number one reason would be self-discovery. We do not know what we do not know. And the more we learn about something, the more we learn that we don't know anything. The Kruger effect, social study, it's pretty incredible how you'll be going through life and then at a certain moment, certain experience, you'll try something or you'll be doing something and then it opens the door to something else. When was the last time that happened to you? It was actually, so from a streamline of this show is actually how, from a friend of a friend, is how I got to get to know my wonderful, amazing girlfriend. When I was playing basketball at Western, I got to meet somebody who owned a bunch of rental properties. What's another one? When I was in this book club in college, the head professor kind of became like a mentor to me. My point is, when we dive into these things and we're trying them, you never really know who you meet, who you run into, who you discover, or what you discover more importantly about yourself. Like, what do you desire? What do you enjoy to do? I have the luxury of, this is where I get a little tripped up. I have the luxury of doing a job that I love, but I don't want to coach all day long. Like, I don't want my entire life to just be coaching. I do think if I had no hobbies and I focused on my business 24/7, I could probably make the company a lot bigger, a lot faster. But that's also not really what I'm aiming for. And I think that leads right into our next one. I think hobbies can be great for bringing in work-life balance, So what is a hobby that you could implement that would get you closer to your goals? What is a hobby you could implement that would get you closer to your goals? What would help you get closer to your work-life balance? So golf is on the schedule for today. I've been trying to get better at golf. I enjoy golf. I like being with my friends when we're doing it. It's pretty fun. Riding around, we're casual. We're out in nature, probably probably my favorite part. And so that gives us good balance. And then I feel a lot more refreshed when I come back and I actually have to work on maybe creating content for the morning show. Maybe we're putting out some exercises. I have clients submit exercises to me and I kind of like grade it almost like a teacher on some updates and some upkeeps. So got to do some of that today and then get that back out there. So I think hobbies do such a good job of recharging our batteries and also just stimulating us in ways that maybe we're not very good at. So something that can be really deterring from hobbies would be not being good at it. So golf, I think, is a great example. And you could think, oh man, I am going to suck. I am not going to be good at this. And that could be deterring for you to want to try it, but you understand the power of self-discovery, and we don't know until we know. So we go out and we try it, even though we think we might suck at it. And if you can build this muscle, I really want to stress this point this morning. If you could build this muscle of getting started on something you are not good at, you are going to be unbeatable in business, unbeatable in making your relationships better, unbeatable at a rock star in life. I think this is one of the crippling factors for a lot of people, a lot of humans, is that when it comes to go do something and you are not good at it, there is a ton of friction and a lot of people quit, don't take action, give up, don't get started. I've been feeling this friction with like putting technology and systems into my businesses, and then also like building out a website, putting in the systems on the website, also trying to have automation for like lead generation in the like that stuff I am not good at. And it feels so frustrating to me, but I can see as I'm making progress on it, it's very satisfying and it's getting better over time. I kind of felt the same way about, if we're sticking on the topic of hobbies and not so much business, or you should, if you don't have a business, I think starting a business could be a great hobby for you. But with the example of golf, not being good at something is deterring, it is stressful, and I get it. But if you can build this muscle, and if you have some willingness and you try and you can succeed and get over the initial humps, because starting is always the hardest part. Starting is always the hardest part. Whether you want to pick up a reading habit, whether you want to pick up a cooking habit, whether you want to pick up a walking habit, starting is the hardest part. And then if you can get over this friction and get over the fact or the thought that I am not good at this, because people are usually just too hard on themselves anyway. The stuff that like, oh, I suck at it, I'm terrible. It's like, duh, of course you suck at it. You haven't done it. And I've really started to forgive myself when it comes to sales calls. I don't think I'm a bad salesman, but I don't think I'm Alex Hermosi, or I don't think I'm Alex Becker, or I don't think, for some reason, I know like a handful of people with the first name Alex who are really good at sales. But anyway, so shout out to the Alexes I know. And if I can just understand and give myself some more empathy that it's like, it's okay to not be amazing at something, because there's some news I got for myself I have to share. It's nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Oh, who would have known? And I think we can use this to our advantage to be a little more playful today, be a little more playful and be a little more empathetic, compassionate for yourself when you're trying these new hobbies. Say if you want to play, you want to learn how to ride a horse, or maybe you want to go out golfing with me sometime, hit me up. Or maybe you want to go hiking. Maybe you want to go try. I did a bunch of rock climbing with my brother out in Colorado several times. That hobby's absolutely nuts and crazy, gets you in great physical shape. I think if you could figure out what your number one goal is, which we do here at Talk to Tanner when you go through our course, you're going to definitely have to identify number one goal for me. And then finding hobbies that match that number one goal. I think that makes so much sense. And then the last point I wanted to jump on is just mental stimulation. I think this goes a lot with self-discovery And mental stimulation when it comes to, say, reading books. I think I'm continuing to improve as a writer, not by just writing. On the side, I'm rewriting some bios for the website. I'm rewriting a lot of the sort pieces. And also, I'm trying to work on a book. And then I'm reading that Barack Obama book, and I'm also reading another sales book. And I think the language and the stimulation from my reading hobby is really feeding into what it is that I'm trying to do with my work. So you can see how hobbies can actually be, especially if they're the right hobbies, I think they can be really powerful and they can be really, really helpful. Another thing that we talked about, we hinted at a little bit in the beginning under self-discovery. I guess self-discovery is a little bit a part of all of these, but social connections. This one I can't stress enough, that has totally flipped my life upside down for the better. So if you get anything from this morning show, social connections, mentors, coaches are freaking life-changing. They really are. The mentors I've had in college, real estate, and now coaching, like each step, I can't even imagine how anybody gets anything done without like true accountability. I think it's really hard to take action, and having people in your corner helps. Social connections, back to my point, I was playing basketball at a rec league. So I played intramurals for basketball at Western Illinois. And this team we were playing, his name is Blake Louderman. Shout out to Blake. He's a total savage in the real estate industry. And I got to talking with him, and he was just like, yeah, I own these rentals. I'm kind of doing this. And I was like, dude, can I like talk to you more about that? I've been really interested in real estate. I focus in finance. I'm taking a bunch of real estate classes. He's like, oh yeah, sure. And he was just showing me his rentals that he had bought. He's showing me, and he's got a construction background. Him and his grandpa were doing a bunch of flips and stuff like that. And I got to see the projects. I was like, holy crap. It was just it was really good for me because it really started to show me how much money you need to be bringing to the table for real estate deals, or vice versa. You need to understand the terminology so you can get creative, or you need to be a service-based person who helps make the transaction easier, say as a realtor. Also, I was just learning all the options, and also learning kind of just seeing the construction side of it, because that's where they were making a ton of equity off of all the properties. They're just like they were getting these ones that weren't that nice. And then we're doing a great job of remodeling, making them modern, and then renting out to students at pretty high price points. So their business model, I mean, they're still renting out over like 30 units there now, or I'm not sure how many units he's got, but they come at high price points and they make good money. So they're doing really well for themselves, and it's cool. And now he's one of my business partners. I own some property with the guy. So it's been a really good relationship. Also, my mentor, one of the things that really helped with, so I picked up a hobby of when I went to, so I got a job in Chicago, and then I picked up this hobby of just going to different places to read, different offices to read real estate books. And then I got to meet my mentor that way because I was writing some people some letters. So the social connections off of your hobbies can be absolutely incredible. Or the book club I joined, and I met one of my favorite professors at Western, and he was very, very helpful to me. So shout out to him. Social connections, you don't know who you're going to meet and in what setting. So if your goal is to improve and work, remember that lifelong learning is going to be an anchor in all of us. I think Aristotle had it right. I always reference him when we talk about lifelong learning. Like, this is what we want to do. We want to continue to learn. We want to continue to grow. We want to be able to push ourselves in the direction that we want to head. And if we could do anything, this could be today's pro tip. It would be match the hobby with our number one goal. Okay. Our pro tip for the day is match the hobby with our number one goal. So my opportunity is to grow my coaching company, to get more business owners, entrepreneurs, and their employees to do my training that I have to unlock your full potential, guaranteed or your money back. And by doing that, I've picked up a hobby of golf. I picked up a hobby of reading. I picked up a hobby of exercise. And I think all of these do match up with my number one goal, to be a life coach, to be an accountability and personal growth and accountability coach. I need to be healthy. I need to be fit. If I was fat and out of shape, you probably wouldn't listen to me as much when I talk about lifestyle advice, when I talk about balance. They're like, oh, dude, you're fat and out of shape. What the heck are you talking about? Or how seriously would you take my learning and my recommendations? I recommend some books to some clients as they're working through. And it's like, I can read off 100 books that I've read over the last couple years. So I think that's a tool in my toolbox to help recommend. It's like, hey, I'm reading this book on Barack Obama. It's like, you're not going to think, oh, he's a terrible coach then. Terrible. Loves learning, loves lifelong learning. Terrible. Doesn't work. Or you can see how golf allows me to make a lot more social connections as I'm meeting people and I'm going through. So we want the pro tip for today would be to figure out some hobbies that you could take on. Maybe you want to organize your house better. Maybe you want to go help somebody do something. Maybe you want to get into coaching. Maybe you want to do some practice with coaching other people and you're just listening to them and you're trying to be curious and compassionate, ask some good questions. That's pretty much what coaching is all about. And you're trying to figure out a hobby, something that is going to get you closer to your number one goal. If your number one goal is to lose 10 pounds, picking up a walking hobby would probably make a lot of sense. Maybe we could go to join a 5K somewhere in the community and it'd motivate us to do something. Maybe we reach out to some people who we know are going to be in the race. Don't be scared to get creative with what it is we're trying to do with our time. Because again, hobbies can help with the following. We're going to go ahead and do a quick little recap. It helps with self-discovery. We don't know what we don't know, and we got to figure that out. So go out and try some new stuff. Number 2, work-life balance. We don't want to work. I'm not trying to work and only do coaching for the rest of my life. I'm trying to figure out other things that I'm also trying to have fun with and get excited about. Getting over the hump, number 3, of doing something you are not good at. If you can master that muscle, I'm telling you, you will be absolutely unstoppable. This is something I'm really trying to work on, specifically with making like calls. Like, hey, do you want to sign up for our accountability program? Do you want to try out our one-page planning system? Do you want to, and just, brassing up and asking more people. Number 4, mental stimulation, doing things like reading and writing. They can help your health so dramatically, especially cognitively, over the long haul of your life, that you're going to see tremendous benefits. And social connections, just having friends is fun. I like to do things with friends. I like to do things with people across the country. With some of my best friends, they all live in Iowa, and every time I get a chance to go travel there and go do something, when I'm doing whatever it is we're doing with them and in a group, super, super fun. Really, really enjoy it. And I think trying out those hobbies can really help with making those social connections. Next thing is lifelong learning. We got to continue to learn. If you're not growing, you are literally dying. And don't learn anything new for a couple months and see how you feel emotionally and physically. You are meant to do more. You are meant to learn more, and lifelong learning is a value I think everyone truly possesses. It's just the style of learning is going to be different for you than it is for me. You don't have to read books to learn. You can go just use your hands, go cut the wood, and like build a house. There's across the street from us, they're building a brand new house, and those guys are absolutely rocking and rolling. Pro tip, match the hobby with our number one goal. Again, if you can pick a hobby that matches what you think roughly, say if you don't know your number one goal, totally understandable. I think you're really setting yourself up to be distracted and to not understand your priorities when you don't know your number one goal. But if you don't, you can talk to Tanner, or you can just try and play around with some hobbies that can feed into the top couple goals, right? So I'm big proponent of making sure that we identify what is the most important goal in our lives. But, if you have some other sub goals that are in there as well, try and have the hobbies that relate with those, because it's clearly that's what you want to do. If those are your goals, that's what you desire. If those are your goals, that's what you want out of your life. And life goes too quick. My girlfriend and I were talking last night, and she was like, I just blink and my head's back on this pillow and we're sleeping. It's like, holy shit, you're right. The days go so fast, so fast. So don't waste this one. Let's take care of it. If you have a hobby that sounds fun to you, that you want to take on, that you want to try, go for it. Try it out. Or feel free to, if you like this content, make sure to like the video, comment one of your hobbies that you're trying out. Maybe you're reading, maybe you're walking, maybe you're cooking, maybe you're golfing, maybe anything with an ing, right? Maybe you're doing something that's fun and it's going to get you closer to your number one goal. Also, please share this content with other people, but we will be back here live again at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for Friday's episode. And we're going to be doing a little more of the same on Reflection Friday. I have a fun exercise for us, so make sure to check that out. Other than that, if you're looking to figure out your number one goal and you need to work with a personal growth and accountability coach, I am your man. Contact me. Let's set something up. We have some courses that are really fun, really really enticing, and can really knock out a lot of the limiting beliefs. The clarification issues is a lot of times that I'm seeing with entrepreneurs and people I'm working with, myself included, just not having true clarity on the plan. Or additionally, maybe you just need some private sessions, some brainstorming sessions to get yourself off the ground and get rocking and rolling today. But that's all I have. You make sure to talk to Tanner for your coaching needs, or if you know anybody, please, I always love a referral. So cheers to that, friends. I'm heading out here. I got some stuff to do. I got some paperwork to get it done, and then I got to go clean up at one of our rentals before we go golfing for one of our hobbies today. Hopefully I hit nice and bomb some balls today. It should be a fun day, and you guys all have an incredible day. And in case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a rock star. Let's go kick today's ass and have a good one. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you all on the next episode, bright and early, June 9th, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Tell your friends to show up, be there, or be square. You guys have a great day. Love you all. I'm out.